I didn't expect to like the EV9 as much as I do. My wife loves it, I love it. It has a ton of space. This is the GT-Line trim, so this is basically maxed out. This is a $78,000 car. The GT-Line starts at 73, and the Kia EV9 starts at 53, where the Kia Telluride leaves off, fully loaded. So look, what you're gonna be asking yourself when you're looking to purchase this vehicle is, should I get an electric car that starts at 53, or should I get a fully loaded gas car that has basically the same functionality, that's fully loaded to go where this one starts? So I'm gonna kind of help you through that process today. I'm gonna talk about comparing this to a Rivian, a Tesla Model X. Maybe you're looking at the used market. Used EVs are very popular right now, but this is a huge value. And the first thing I want to talk about is the steering wheel. It's a top 5 steering wheel for me. Of all the steering wheels I've ever used, it's perfect. This is what the Cybertruck steering wheel should be like, to be honest, because it has the perfect amount of width to it. You have, I'm not really a fan of the buttons here. I like just the drive mode and your 4-wheel drive lock down here. The buttons are, just standard for any car. You do have Apple CarPlay, as you can see on the display here. My wife loves Apple CarPlay. I like it too, but also, like, when a company makes a good infotainment system, BMW's iDrive system is very good and usable. I also like Tesla's infotainment system because it constantly has updates. I actually prefer to use that over Apple CarPlay because I've just gotten used to it. I think it's intuitive and useful. This is a nice mix of both. It has the information that I want to see up here in terms of how many miles I have left, and I have my infotainment over here. And then this isn't great. You kind of have your air conditioning, AC, all that info here, and it's blocked out by the steering wheel. So that's not great, but if you want to turn the air up, it's here. You want to turn down, it's here. You want to turn your fan speed up or down, it's here. And then you have your temperatures over here as well. If you unsync the air conditioning, then you have your own control over there. But driving this, it is solid. And when you put it into sport mode, so you click here, we're in eco, normal, sport, my drive, and snow mode. But when you go to sport mode, this does 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds, okay? That's quick. You're going to surprise a lot of people when you get on this and everyone's back at the red light. Like, this will beat a WRX STI if you come up to a light with them, 0 to 60. It's really impressive. It's quick. It feels nimble. And like, compared to a Mercedes GLS, which is about this size, it's a more luxurious vehicle than this, but it's not as nice to drive because this is electric, and it's significantly cheaper than that. Those are over $100,000. Personally, I would get the long range version of this. I would not get the $53,000 one unless you are literally only using it around town and to save on fuel. But saving on fuel is we need to talk about that. We're going to talk about that in a minute here. But this is such a pleasure to drive. It's actually quick when you put it in sport mode and accelerate and need to get around people, and it's no drama. You don't have to wait for the transmission to shift down or anything like that. You just move, and it does it so well. The air conditioning works extremely well. Now you're like, why? Well, yeah, I'd hope. Well, when you have a Tesla and you have these glass roofs with no covers on them, you cook a little bit. If you need a good cover for your Tesla glass roof, I'll have it linked in the description from Vion. They are excellent. But now about the gas savings, okay? So in comparison to the Telluride, and this is from information that Kia gave me, this will save you about $1,800 a year in gas. The Telluride starts at $36,000, this starts at 53. So you're going to have some delta. It's going to take a long time, unless you're driving an insane amount of miles, to actually save money. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you might be saving money out of your wallet, what you feel, but you're financing a car that costs a lot more. I don't even know that you would have the car for enough time to actually see a difference there. I don't know. But overall, it feels solid. I like the technology. It had a little software update for the maps. It didn't clarify what the software update was for. I think it just said like bug fixes and efficiencies. But overall, I'm not buying this so it gets over the air updates. I'm buying it because it's a value EV and it drives nice. To me, is really punching up in terms of the ride quality. Doesn't have an air suspension, but because this is the GT line, the rear of it has a self-leveling suspension, so that's nice. It doesn't have camp mode necessarily, but it has like utility mode, so you could be using the air conditioning and the plugs while the car is parked, so that's a nice feature. It makes a lot of sense. Captain's chairs in the back. It does have the option for 7 seating, so you just have a normal bench seat across the back, but I mean, I really enjoy this. I can't say enough about it. They use the Hankook Ion Evo SUV EV specific tires on this, so the ride quality is very good. It's quiet because of their suspension and in tandem with those tires. It's really well done. The seats are heated and cooled in both the front and the back on this specific trim line. That seems to work nicely. It has this kick out plate here where you can apparently rest your legs. I used it and reclined the chair all the way back. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a gimmick in my opinion. I love these materials on the side of the car, the mesh with the ambient lighting, which you can change. There's actually some haptic feedback from these buttons up front here, so you can access various parts of the infotainment system. The infotainment system is not great. It's lucky it has Apple CarPlay. It is wireless Apple CarPlay, but it's, you're just kind of like, I want to see more information on charging speeds and range and stuff like that, like actual real-time efficiency of the vehicle. It's just not there. Everyone is just second to Tesla there. BMW M5 competition in chalk. God, that's beautiful. Wow. Maybe just buy that. Yeah, I mean, this just gets out of the, usually, I mean, look at that. Holy cow. It just gets out of the hole nicely. Usually big SUVs like this are just pigs, and this isn't. So what we're gonna do is we are going to pull over. I'm gonna show you a couple other features on the EV9 that I like that are around the car. That'd be better if we were in first person viewer. So let's go to that. So exterior color is called Ocean Blue. Again, here's a look at those Hankook Ion Evo all-season SUV tires. This has the foam inner liner on it. Great. Called the sound absorber. You can tell it's an electric vehicle here because there's a lightning bolt in it, you know. So it has the sound absorber in it, so that's a nice feature. And I think these are rated for 50,000 miles. These are plastic wheel covers on a 21-inch wheel. Also a quick note here, let me see where it's at. Treadwear rating of 600. So on the door panel here, I love the way that this material is. I love it. You have your normal switches here, you know, all the mirror adjustments, lock, unlock, window up and down. It's automatic all the way around. Your child lock, not to lock them in the car, but to tell them to stop screwing around in the back seat. This right here, seat massager. The massager essentially, basically this side lifts up and grabs your cheek. It just like kind of slaps your cheeks side to side, and then you have lumbar support. You could basically massage all the way around. The headrests are mesh, kind of like something you'd buy for. Slow down, there's kids here. It's kind of like, you know, something you'd imagine like a seat at a pool. Really cool feature, feels great on your head. You can also adjust the passenger seat from the driver's side. So just a nice luxury feature, and you can see your USB-C plug there, and same one is over here as well. So that's the seat massager, heated steering wheel, cooled seats, which I have running, heated seats, and then you can save 2 positions on the driver's side. So that's all good there. You have your beautiful display, which is broken up into 3 sections here. And this car also has the heads-up display on the GT line trim. You also have your infotainment here for everything you'll immediately need as you're driving. Air conditioning, right there, and then your navigation and all the Apple CarPlay and all that stuff on the main screen. So that's kind of how that all breaks down, and here's that stupid leg rest. Again, this, I just don't think you're actually ever going to use this, and to move it in and out, you hit this button right here, and then it folds up. So I just think it's kind of goofy, but I don't know, maybe some people will use it. This will subtract the vehicle, this will add the vehicle. So if your kid's bad at math, maybe you can show them that and that'll help. Probably not. What else we got here? Let's unlock, let's go to the back. Into the back. So we got the 2 car seats here. You want to have probably a little more space there. You can see even with captain's chairs, these are powered seats. So it's really nice to be able to move the seats like that, and then you can go right into the 3rd row. It just makes a lot of sense. And what's key, especially if you have kids, I'm in Phoenix, so it gets very hot here. Having these vents, even if you don't have kids, just for your passengers, so you can perfectly aim the air to exactly where you want it to go, as opposed to keeping your kneecaps cool down here. I just really like this as a feature, and then you have your own switches back here where you can control your air conditioning. I have no clue whose shoes those are, by the way. They're not either of my kids, so I don't know what's going on. But you have this little table here. Again, you have the ambient lighting, which you can change the colors. That's cool. This is a really unique feature. I could see this being useful if you're at a charging stop and your kids are raising hell and you just let them eat snacks back here and get out of their seat. That could be a nice option. And then you have this little storage compartment here, which you can have your kids' popper down there. Some of you that don't have kids are like, what is he talking about? You know, I don't really know either, to be honest. And that slides in, and there you go. So you have these back here. Again, kind of a view of the back. It looks kind of weird from back here, the mesh. And then the roof isn't Alcantara. It's like it's almost like a cheaper suede. But again, I love this texture, this type of material. So that's really nice. So the front is all manual here for the moonroof. This opens up, so that's good. And then this is fully electric in the back here. So just nice that it comes with a shade that you can automatically open and close. Tesla lacks that, and it kind of stinks. So, and then you have another control back there and a decently sized trunk even when the seats are up. So let's go back to the trunk. Also, I think this was a Walgreens. Shut down. Crazy. All right, open it up here, little button down there. And there's kind of the rear of the car. Again, you have your charger here. Open that up, let's take a look. There it is. There it is. Is that Braille? I don't know. Gonna ask to let me know if that's Braille, but I don't know how someone that could read, I don't know how you could let me know if you're blind. But so yeah, you can actually see there's a decent amount of room between here. It's probably 2.5, probably 2 feet from here to here. And then obviously if you fold the seats down, there's a normal amount of space. In the back here, USB-C area, little storage for a drink of some sort. Again, overhead air vents for your third row passengers because we care about them too. And we're just 6 miles from the front of the car. Yeah, I just can't believe how much I like this thing. I think the best value of this is when you get that long range version that has over 300 miles of range for about $60,000. That's probably the one I would start with and then option from there. This is totally jacked up. It has some performance features on it. It has the self-leveling rear suspension, a ton of luxury features on the inside, and that's how you get up to $78,000. But I don't think it's overpriced. I'm not gonna say that it's overpriced and oh, that's what a Model X starts at. No, this is very well done by Kia. Kia's done a really nice job, really, with all of their electric vehicles. Electric vehicles just aren't taking right now. The market isn't. We went through this really high through COVID, and now we're kind of coming back down off of that. So it's going to be interesting to see how it is over the next few years. But in terms of driving, in terms of how good the car, just the car itself is compared to gas cars, electric cars, whatever, this is really nice. I just love the way that it drives. It's so smooth, it's quiet, it's quick, it has nice technology and a ton of space for everyone. This is what the front looks like. Basically unusable, but that's fine because the car is so large and looks good. Now, the one issue you may run into is charging these things. So we're gonna take it to a DC fast charger to see what kind of charging speeds we can get out of it, and hopefully the charger actually works. So we're gonna head out to a DC fast charger here I found at Kroger. Also, if you own one of these, you may wanna have this filter on, and then you may wanna unselect these two and just have these high-speed ones for if you're doing a road trip or something. Otherwise, you're gonna be disappointed. This will take like 12 hours to charge your car. Not even worth bothering, in my opinion. That's for home charging. So yeah, we're gonna go to this charger. It's a 350 kilowatt charger. Should be able to get max charging speed. We will see. It's also worth mentioning that this has single pedal driving. These paddle shifters here adjust the regenerative braking. So when you tap this left one to setting 4, it says I pedal stop. So when I let off the gas, I'm calling it the gas forever, by the way. When I let off, it actually comes to a complete stop, but if you want it to be less intrusive, you click this and it goes to level 1 and the car will just glide along as you'd expect it. So yeah, so it does have single pedal driving, another great feature. There's nothing more welcoming and comforting than Electrify America. Electrify America. We'll never have your back. All right, so we just got to this charger here. These are actually newer chargers. These ones never worked before. They're 350 kilowatt. Another feature I'd like to show you here, the start button's right here. This is a really cool location for that. The fact that it's just framed like this, you go in here, you click it, start, stop. I think that's a cool feature. Also, I like that it shows your high mileage of 70 miles of range, your low mileage of 33 miles of range. Gives you that area so you can just be more at ease. You can be like, all right, this is about how much range I have left, and we got the average in the middle. So I don't know, I just really like how it displays all of that. Let's get this thing plugged in and see what it does. Charging session has begun. So to give you an idea, this costs 56 cents per kilowatt hour. So if I were to fill this up to from 0 to 100% here, it costs about $56 on, because it's a 99.8 kilowatt hour battery pack. Also, there's a lady over there waiting in the queue. She had to walk up here to see if one was actually available. And then if we charge it up to, let's see, 120 kilowatts, there we go. If we go all the way to, I think it's set 22 minutes to get to 80% at 150 kilowatts, but we should be going higher than that here in a minute. So we did get it to work. These never worked before. 24%, 200 kilowatts. Come on, let us go higher. Can you take me higher? So that 56 minutes there, that's to get us to 100%, and then you can see right here it says 21 minutes to 80%. 80% is what you're more going to be doing on road trips. This last 20% takes forever in any EV. So yeah, pretty standard. We haven't touched 210 yet, but there's kind of where we're sitting at 26%. All right, so we're bouncing off of 210 at 33%, 211. Another cool feature we haven't discussed yet is this right here. So this button switches from, this button actually switches from it just charging your phone to it doing data and charging your phone. And then this is just a straight up charger over here. And then this turns on your 180 watt in the rear of the car. So just some unique features down here as well, as well as a big open space, which can be useful for camera batteries. 15 minutes till we're at 80%. This is going quickly here. 44% state of charge, and we keep increasing on the charging speed. You can see almost hitting 220 kilowatts even at 45% battery. So working really nicely, really nice charge curve here. Even though I'm not mapping it, I can just tell from this point. I mean, the Tesla would be well below this, so this is solid. The warranty on this is 10-year, 100,000 mile limited powertrain, 10-year, 100,000 mile limited battery warranty. In comparison, Tesla is 8 years, 150,000 miles on the Model X. And the additional features on this specific vehicle, ocean blue paint is $695, and the GT-Line second row relaxation package is $2,000, and that's what gets us up to $78,430. If you just wanted the GT line, it's $73,900 with no options. A few other interesting notes here from Kia that I think this is really cool. So the Range Rover P400, which I reviewed a Range Rover plug-in hybrid, which was awesome. This equals the quietness of that at 58.2 decibels on the highway, and has 82 cubic feet of max cargo room behind the first row, which is more than the Range Rover 3-row. So they targeted some cars that are well above the cost of this, and it truly delivers. You can even see here the EV9 Lite rear-wheel drive has an EPA estimated 304 miles of range and an even higher range of 337 miles based on non-certified EPA AMCI testing. So it comes with a heat pump HVAC system, which is engineered to help reduce range degradation in cold climates due to energy needed for the HVAC to warm the cabin. Charges from 10 to 80% in about 25 minutes using a 350 kilowatt DC fast charger, which we're on right now. So it adds approximately 100 miles in 10 minutes. 15 minutes toward 80%. This is going quickly here. 44% state of charge, and we keep increasing on the charging speed. You can see almost hitting 220 kilowatts even at 45% battery. So working really nicely, really nice charge curve here. Even though I'm not mapping it, I can just tell from this point. I mean, the Tesla would be well below this, so this is solid. So overall, the EV9 has been excellent, and I don't like it because it's electric. That's going to be the secondary reason. That's why I think Tesla does well. That's why I think Rivian is going to be fine, is because they make vehicles that are sought after, not because they're electric vehicles, because they're good vehicles. And this is a great SUV. It's quick. You rip off the line here, has multiple drive modes. It's safe, can seat 6 or 7 depending on how you configure it. I just can't say enough good about this vehicle. I think they did an excellent job. Now, if you want to see this in comparison to a Rivian R1S, click this video right here. I think you'll really enjoy that comparison because they do kind of mesh in the cost area at the top end of this and the low end of the Rivian. Check that out.